Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm DJ Michael Joseph, your host for this crazy jaunt down the path of music and mixing in the DJ world. But guess what? If you have eyes and you're not listening to this just on audio only, I have a guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Pulse from Pioneer DJ.
How you doing, MJ?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
At one point described you as a Rekordbox guru, and then I got corrected that it was Rekordbox ninja.
You know, I put that in my email signature so long ago, and it's almost like one of those little nuggets I leave in there just to see who calls me out on it.
Ah, okay. Got it. So this show, just so that you know, basically what it is, it's a show about music and mixing. It's more for the mixed DJ. So, but we do
Awesome.
cover topics that go with everybody, especially like tonight's with software. It does cover something for every DJ. So it's not just the mixing DJ that we are looking at tonight. Jay Brennan's in the chat, and he just yelled out, "Paul." I don't know if you can't see the chat there, but
No, I don't have it open.
oh, okay. I'll guide you in on that because we
Awesome.
have a great chat group that really gets involved, and we usually have people from all over the world in here tonight, many different countries and stuff like that.
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
Jay's just commenting. Sorry, I'm getting sidelined by
Just
Jay.
ignore anything by Jay. I chat with him all the time. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He has nothing to ask.
All right, so tonight is about Rekordbox, the software. Now, I remember, I just want to drop this in. I want to take a step back. I remember going to the Atlantic City DJ Expo, and you guys had it up on a screen showing it working, not connected to anything, just running. And that was my first kind of like, oh, that's their Rekordbox. And it's really, and I mean really, come a long way since the days of it just being a here, look at this sort of thing, and you guys were answering questions. I want to start off with, of all the things that it's had, I know you're going to give us, for those of you who don't know, he's going to give us a little demo of it and different things he's going to talk about, and then you guys can ask questions. But I want to ask the first question here. Of all the things that it has become, added to, upgrades, anything like that, what is your favorite? You go, I love it because of this.
Oh, well, yeah, it has come a long way. One of my favorite things absolutely is the vocal detection, the vocal position detection.
Okay.
Because I forever was going through songs and I'm like, oh, is this the one where it's got that break and she stopped singing, or is there the rap in it? Now it's got this little indicator. You load it up and it shows you exactly where the vocals are in a song. So I can't wait for that to get to the players.
Oh, that's so cool, for real. Hold on.
Yeah.
Switching the mics up just a bit here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let you go with this. We were trying to do, those of you knowing, we were trying to do a full screen. That's why we were late, because I was trouble getting his on the full screen. So at some point tonight, it dies and the screen goes blank. Hang with us. We'll bring it back up.
We'll figure it out.
But he's going to take us through a few things on that. And yes, Jay, we are ignoring you. I'm going to try to get
it's all for love.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it to go to a single view now so you can share. If it goes blank, I'm really sorry. We're going to try this one last time. If it doesn't, I don't even know what we're going to do at this point. So let me go.
Oh, we'll just talk. We'll have questions and we'll just do it that way.
All right, so speaker view did not work because it's only showing me. So maybe you need to talk and it zooms in on you.
I'm talking now. Do you need to pin me?
No.
Does that help?
Do that. So we're going to do the double, okay? And I'm going
All
to try
right.
to
Well,
zoom in.
just pretend everything is much bigger than this, and you'll catch the drift.
I'm just going to zoom in on you right now, so that's all. I can move the zoom in and out really easy. So we have you.
Cool.
Go for it.
All right. So Rekordbox, as you said, it started out with just being music management. It was like the nothing software. It had only bringing in your stuff to prepare for a CDJ. But as it matured, it's gone through several evolutions. And version 3, we changed things up a little bit. Version 4 introduced DJing and proper actual performance mode. Version 5 added a whole bunch more things, including lighting, and now we're into version 6 where we've got some additional features that we've piled in. So it has had a lot of updates over its run, and I'm excited at the new things that are coming along and the future of where these things are going. And I'm seeing a lot of software developing positively over the last couple of years. So we're all sort of feeding off each other's energy to develop better software, which I think is just beneficial for all the DJs.
Right.
So yeah, one of the things that I'll just dive into here is there are a couple of modes for Rekordbox. You've got the export mode, which was the old way of preparing all your music. You got a single player on the screen here. You can actually change it up to, I moved my mouse over to the other screen, to a 2-player, so you can kind of preview your mixes. And this is for the, the guy who's maybe just playing exclusively from CDJs. You're playing in the club. You just want to prepare stuff. This is where you can come. But then if you click on export, you can change it into performance mode. And this would be your actual, hey, I've got a controller, I've got CDJs I want to use with the software. So I've actually got a DJJ 1000 down here that I'm controlling everything with. So I'm sorry, I don't have a top-down shot to be able to show you what's going on, but you can see the software reacting. And this was, if I were playing, you're actually having the music come through, as you're DJing from the same collection. And I think that for how the ecosystem works is that you've got all of your music and all of your playlists in the same environment, regardless of whether you're playing on a CDJ or you're playing from your computer in the software. So it's this mentality of, oh, I don't need to change up what I do because I'm playing on different hardware or at a different venue and they've got a different setup. You can take your USB drive and this could be your source, or you playing it from a CDJ. So that idea that everything is in one place is kind of fundamental to Rekordbox.
Okay, very cool.
So the waveform, everyone's used to seeing a beautiful waveform with their software now, but one of the other things I love is that you've got a preview, so you can actually take a look and scroll through, and when you get, as I'm sure a lot of DJs do, multiple mixes of one track, you can actually see, on these ones where your hot cues are, where the breakdowns are. And as a bonus, you can even click in and jump around in this as a preview without even loading it to a deck. Now that's something that is exclusive to Pioneer right now, and I would love to see other companies take this up and accept this challenge to implement it in their software. But to not have to load it to a deck, I'm sure you've been DJing for long enough to know that when you had 2 CD players or 2 turntables going, you often wanted a third one so you could check something else out, because you had one playing, one queued up, and then you wanted to go, oh, I want to find something better than what I've already got queued. You would need to have that third deck. And I think that's where a lot of DJs got into the mentality of, I want to have a 3 or 4 deck controller or a 3 or 4 deck player. You don't need that anymore, because you've got the 2 decks that are up on your screen, but then the third one to be able to preview something, you've got that by clicking on these waveforms. This preview function is super powerful. And I think, it will really replace that mentality of, I need to have a third deck. You, of course, do. You can switch it up into 4-deck mode and have decks galore, and you've got, samplers and all kinds of other stuff you can do. You can even integrate external line sources with your controller or your mixer, but it's these small things that I think will really make a difference for when DJs are performing, to be able to find the next song even better.
Right. Very cool. That is definitely, I am old enough to remember having a CD in, playing a song, having the next one queued up and going, crap, what's that other one sound like?
And then you load it up and you're like, I wait for the disc to spin.
Yep.
Track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Cue. No. Okay, it's still loading. Okay, now you can play. Now everything is instant. I mean, you can see my collection here, 56,590 songs, and I've trimmed a little bit of fat out of here,
right.
But that's still more than I need. And to be able to find every song that I want at my fingertips. Oh, and by the way, you've also got the ability to load up any of these cloud sources. So we've got SoundCloud, Beatport, BeatSource, and Tidal. I mean, millions of songs just by clicking the login button and having an account. Free trials on most of these services. So if you guys have never tried them out before, it can be a little bit overwhelming having every song at your fingertips.
I try to encourage them, because that is one of the things I hear a lot of people are like, well, I don't trust it. It's a free trial. Give it a try. Just play with it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that, having a collection of, this many songs is what a DJ is about. We've hoarded music for decades, coming up through the, the analog and digital eras. But now that we have a streaming availability, it's a little bit challenging. And I had this conversation with Jay, and he'll probably post something about this in the chat, that you look at how much money and time we spent investing in our collections, and now somebody can go get the same thing for $9.99 a month.
Yep.
It kind of hurts. Like, it hurts the soul. We've curated this collection of songs, And now it was like, oh, I can just go and, I can play that. I've got that. It's like, well, I actually went and spent money on that. I went to
Yeah.
the store and I bought that.
Yeah.
That we have the history on that collection. But absolutely, I think a lot of DJs are afraid that they're going to get to the venue and they're not going to have a decent enough connection. So yeah, until I think we have better propagation of 5G, that we're still going to see a lot of DJs taking the physical drive with the music. And as technology improves, as time goes on, we will get to better Wi-Fi penetration, or at least better high-speed data everywhere we go. So that won't be so much of an issue. I mean, I've been to rural places where they had better cell phone connectivity so I can make a hotspot than urban centers. So
Yeah.
your mileage may vary on that.
Yeah,
But I always carry music.
Yeah, I always tell people, I said, at least right now, get used to it, because use it as a backup to find that one odd song that you're out there that you might just need. And then in the future, when that becomes something, then worry about that then. But just try it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it for that, the oddball request that you don't have, and you're never going to have to play it again. So it's like, I really don't want to buy that song for $2.99 off of iTunes or whatever. I think it's definitely got its place. And the other thing that's great about it is all of these sources have got different playlists that are curated for you. So that even if you are not familiar with hip hop, you could go and load up a hip hop playlist and be playing some hits. And it doesn't necessarily need to be today's hits. It could be, the best of the 90s or 2000s or old school, rock. You can find all of these different sources and playlists on these streaming services. So even if you're just learning to DJ, those are a great intro.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something I covered a few weeks ago on my show, about the different playlists that are out there and how much they're being integrated to where you have, like, what's the one, Crate? Is it Crate Diggers? No.
That sounds familiar.
One of those is now being implemented into a list alongside, like, iTunes top songs, Spotify's top songs. Right next to it then is such and such hip hop songs or whatever, and it's become that norm to where if you don't know a specific genre, you can help yourself through it if you're willing to take a few extra steps with these things, like he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. And these are, like, you can make your favorites, and some of the services even allow you to take stuff offline so that you can hold. Beatport has a locker, so they can take 50 or 100 songs and stick that in your locker offline, so you can play a gig even if you don't have the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And you can't export them to a USB drive to play on a CDJ. I know a lot of people are looking for that. Likewise, recording is disabled when you're using a streaming service, simply because it's like you don't own that music, so you can't make a copy of it. Now, there are ways that are workarounds that I won't get into the details of, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Your DJs are creative. We like to problem solve, and there are ways of doing things like OBS. So yeah, you can definitely stream your performance.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me show you a couple of the other things for people who have not gotten into the software before. There's a world of stuff in here. I did a masterclass on this for the NAMM show. It was supposed to be an hour, and I ran short on time. So I'm not going to go through that entire thing. If you guys are looking for deep information on Rekordbox, there's tons of it out there. There's some great videos online, both by Pioneer DJ and individuals who have done classes on the subject. So go and browse around. But I'll show you a few of the things, and then we can
just so everybody knows, we are going to take questions here a little bit later. I've already jotted down a few that you've mentioned in the chat. Hold on to them and get ready, and he will do his best to answer them here in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll just guide you through some of the panels that I've got hidden. One is the effects bank. So there's actually 2 effects units at the top here, and it's full of all the things that people are looking to use. More than I can shake a stick at, that more than I ever use myself. I DJ all the time, and I play my traditional effects. Echo. That's my go-to.
Everybody's go-to, yeah.
Yeah, and what's really cool is the release effects too. You can set these things up like an echo or a backspin for when you turn the effect off. It engages that, so it'll clear out all the other effects by engaging that one.
Right.
But one of the other things here is the filter. So a lot of people are used to the color effects across a mixer strip. You can actually change these to the other ones that are available on most mixers. A lot of people don't know that. They're not aware that this option is available, or that you can go into those three dots and customize each one of your channels to have a different mode. So if you wanted to filter on channel 1, but then you want the crush on channel 2 or the dub echo, you can actually set that up that way. So that's kind of a cool thing to have there as well. So I'm going to close that effects panel. Now you guys are all familiar with the layout of the decks. There's a few things you can change in there. Right now I've got it on our 3-band waveform, which was new in Rekordbox 6. And what's cool about this one is it actually shows you the energy level. So I'm going to just jump ahead in the song here so that they're both in a different spot. So here you can see in the lower track on Acid Tool, there's no bass. That would be the blue. And you can see the levels of the individual frequencies. So the highs are in white, mids are in that gold, and then the blues in the yellow. The blues are the bass. With a regular RGB, you get the red would be your low, and that just sort of dominates the waveform. So you can't see those nuanced highs or mids that are in there. So it's a little bit trickier to sort of dig and see that, oh wow, actually it's got this really good, high level spike right there, but there's still actually some bass behind it.
Right.
So that it's really cool now to look at this. A lot of people ask, can you customize the colors? No, unfortunately you can't. This is that vocal detection I was telling you about earlier, where you've got that little blue bar that shows you that there's a vocal. So I can see down here, and I'm actually going to play this part of the track so you can hear it. No, actually I can't hear them myself. Hold on. Am I muting? It's picked it up. This is one of those fun ones. Sometimes you get the false detection because it's in the same range. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, because the vocals, those of you who don't know, that the same way that like a stem works, that it's going to read something within a certain range that's usually vocals, and if it feeds on that too, it's not perfect, but it's going to get it more often than not. It's going to show you where those are at there.
Yeah, it's using some intelligence. It's not just the frequency, but also center pan kind of thing.
Correct.
I've had some where it's like another instrument will get picked up, or somewhere the vocal doesn't because it's panned wide or has like some weird chorusing on it. But
funny thing, it used to be that a lot of those vocals were panned left back in the old days.
Yeah, or you pull up the Beatles and it's like one is really hard panned and you're not going to get that one detected. But let me see here. Come back over to. Yeah, so here we can hear it.
Yeah.
Let me jump out. Oops. Mouse, I'm all over the place in this cursor tonight. So this one's more of a sample. It's not so much an actual vocal sing, right. But at least I have the ability to take a look at this track and say, oh, there's actually some vocals in it. I can load this one up not knowing what's in the track and see immediately that there are some vocals there. Now, I will actually point out one of the other cool things that is a good way to help you figure out the vocals. We have a cool function here called My Tags. Now that's set up into 4 categories. We can set a maximum of 50 different tags in each one. And I use this last section as sort of like I call it the maintenance. Which is some other stuff I'll get into in a second, but one of the things you can do is set like elements for your track. So if it's got piano or vocals, you can actually find the tracks that have got those by opening up your filters.
Right. And
you can say, well, I want to show only the tracks that have got a vocal analysis done, and let's see if we have one that has vocal none with a vocal analysis on. So let's go with, I'm probably pretty limited to what I'm showing here because I'm in the wrong playlist here. Let's go back and try. We can try vocals from a movie. No, none of those. Oh, I've got none on as well. Vocals from a movie. So these would be songs that I have tagged that have got a vocal sample that sounds like it's out of a movie. So I can bring one of those up here. Oh, I can't. And this is actually another good point. So let me hide these and show you why that came up as not available. I'm actually currently doing this from my desktop, and these are songs that are synchronized through the cloud. So in the creative plan on Rekordbox 6, you can use the cloud sync. So this allows you to share your library across multiple devices. And with songs that you've uploaded to Dropbox, it's available on all the computers, but these ones I've not done because it's a brand new computer that I'm working on here, and these ones are all still over on my Mac, so I haven't copied them over. But I can enable this other filter, and let's show me tracks that have been uploaded to the cloud. And now I've got just filtered it down to the 184 that are currently in Dropbox. So I could take this one, which we happen to know is a new hit track. Now there's that vocal detection thing. So I can actually go over to my tags now, and I can add the tag for vocal. I don't have a rig. Where's just no? Oh, there we go. Vocal. So I can actually add this my tag to it. Does want to add? Ooh, there we go. It's in there. So now I've added that tag, and you can use as many of these as you want to help you filter through your collection, so that if you are looking for things that don't have a vocal, or you don't want to have the explicit vocals in what you're showing, you can go through and use these tags to sort through your collection much more efficiently. So that's one of my favorite things about Rekordbox is the my tags.
Can the tags also be defined as in this is a wedding song or a mitzvah song, high energy, low energy?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the top one is like a secondary genre, so you could expand on this. I use like dreamy, liquid, ambient, chill. I listen to a lot of drum and bass, so I put those ones onto things. Funky, driving, broken beat, gritty, dark. Those help set the tone.
Yeah.
So the general genre I'd put on the song in the genre tag would be drum and bass, but then those help me sort of define further.
The feel
and you
of
can
the
go
song
into
within. Very cool.
a situation. So you could start tagging them as mitzvah or as wedding. You could even tag them as like a slow dance, because quite often you might get a song that's in the high BPMs because it misanalyzed. You can end up coming through and saying, well, I need to use a reanalysis. So I go through and I typically say my grid is okay, my analysis is normal, oh, it's double what it's supposed to be. You can use this additional stuff to then manage your music as well. So you come back through, if you're at the gig and you go, oh my gosh, this is wrong, you hit this tag, and then later on you come back with an intelligent playlist that's set to find the songs that are double, and then you can go and actually edit the grids so that the next time you go and play them, they're okay. Maybe if you had a file that has an error, or if it's been cut short, or it's like got some weird encoding problem, hit that tag, come back and manage it later. Do you do Music Mondays? That's something that I've been trying to push with DJs. Music Mondays, go and spend Monday managing your collection, because if you don't, you fall behind.
Oh yeah, mine's on Tuesday. I wait till Billboard comes out just in case there's something warpy that hits that. Then I'm like, okay, now while I'm sitting here, let's do this. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you spend the time managing it, and this kind of thing can actually really help to get through that.
How much of that tagging stuff can you do through the app?
The app as well allows you to add the tag, so it's exactly the same. And because of the cloud sync, everything you do in the app is synchronized back over to the desktop and your laptop, wherever you go.
You could be sitting in the park somewhere, chilling and working through tags and different things on your phone, and then when you get back to your DJ computer, it's all set, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Any of these things, if you were operating on this in real time, if you had a partner you collaborated with, if he's or she is making changes to your to the hotkeys or to playlists, all that stuff is reflected as soon as the sync agent runs and updates it. Mine's on the taskbar, which you can't see right now. I can see that every time I make a change, it's blinking up with a little icon that it's actually synchronizing. So I can see that it's pushing those changes to the cloud in real time.
Awesome.
So other cool features I will tell you about, these quick access playlists, and this is a really good tool for somebody who's doing a mobile event. So if you are DJing and you have your first dances, you wanted to set up your first dance on the top here. Let me close off my filters. So just by clicking this, it's a shortcut to that. So if I take my music bed playlist and I drop it on there, I take my sync test and drop it onto this other one, and then take my tall and tan, I don't know who those guys are, Jay, and drop it on there. I can now toggle between those playlists just by clicking onto these shortcut buttons at the top. So it's a rapid access, and here's the other cool thing. There's actually 3 banks of those. So you can set up 12 different playlists across there that are quick access, and then you've got your tag list, which is like a prepare temporary crate.
Right.
So you can open that one up as well. But it's kind of a cool little trick for guys who want to make sure that they've got specific songs at their fingertips for the event that they're at. You can just line them up into these little playlists.
Yeah. That's awesome. So many
can open
little
it up to see
things. I
them.
mean, it's so, like, we started off talking about CDs. This is having the best setup with the best notes and the best everything.
I like to make sure that an idea or these features have a use when I'm describing to people. So like I just said, at a wedding, to put each of these playlists together so you can have them at your fingertips. When you plant that kind of seed, the ball starts rolling, and DJs get the idea in their head of, oh, I could actually use that to do this, and that sounds really cool. So if there's anything I can deliver in terms of the information, I'm going to try and give you a practical application to it as well, because if I'm able to make use of it for an event, I want to be able to share that information for you to be better at your event as well.
Right. Are any of those quick access lists MIDI mappable to a button on your controller to just shuffle through them, or anything like, or a keyboard shortcut, anything like that?
Yeah, I think there is actually hold on, hidden behind my, put myself down there. MIDI, I don't think it was I think it's browse, and it's to go from panel to panel. Let's add, I'm sure it's in here somewhere. That's actually not something I've ever looked for in terms of, but there's so many. Even the keyboard shortcuts, there are so many available to hop through. Let's see, browse, and you can see, like, and they're adding more and more every version, because people have said, hey, there's no shortcut for this, and it's like, okay, note to self, we got to add that one to the list, and they do come back and try to make sure that all those requests are filled. There are hundreds and hundreds of requests that come in, and to try and meet them all is impossible. So I know you guys watching, you might have made some requests that you thought was the ultimate solution to whatever it is, whatever problem you had, or this really cool idea. Unfortunately, they can't get to all of them because some of them are just impossible to code, or it's like it would be useful for one person. So they do try to get to them if it's a bug, more so than if it's a new feature request. But yeah, keep them rolling. We love to hear the stuff that you guys are asking for, and to try and add these crazy new features, because things like a vocal position detection wouldn't have come along if it weren't for somebody saying, hey, I had this idea.
Very cool.
So do you want me to carry on through some of the stuff here, or you want to jump onto...
Show us at least one more thing, and then we'll go into the chat. And if
I totally got distracted. I was going to show you what these panels did, and I got carried away with other stuff. That's the way I work. I just get in the flow, and away we go. Sampler takes place down below the decks here, and like every other sampler, you've got multiple banks. I don't have samples here to load up, but you've got 16 that you can call up on each side, and you can have them programmed in patterns. The mixer section, if you are mixing by mouse, and here's actually a really cool feature. A lot of guys don't know that if you want to DJ in Rekordbox just on your computer, keyboard and mouse, it's free. The performance mode is available for everyone to do this for free. If you want to use a controller, though, if you've got a Pioneer DJ brand controller that is one of the hardware unlocked devices, it unlocks these features for free, so you can control it. But if you got one that was a little bit older, or did not come with a license for Rekordbox initially, then you can pay to get one of the subscriptions, either the core or creative plan, and then you can unlock it. If you've got some other MIDI hardware, you can map everything except for the jog. So if it's another brand controller, the only thing you won't have access to if you buy a subscription is to do the jog. So if you wanted to do pitch bending, you can do it with buttons, but just not the jog. So there's a lot of stuff that you can access for free, and using your mouse and keyboard, you have a great time, or just use it as a backup.
So there's no excuse for not giving it a try, everyone.
Yeah, there's no excuse, yeah. So you've got, your mixer panel there, and then of course a little recording panel. There's even Ableton, it's hidden from me, it's popped over to the side, I think. Oh, no, it's possibly on the other screen. Anyway, Ableton Link, so if you're into production type stuff, or you want to synchronize with other equipment or other DJs, you can use the link function. And then there's video and DVS I don't even have enabled. It's in the preferences. You can go and add the additional panels. There's a lyric function. So if you like to do kind of karaoke style, or you do video and you want to do visuals for the songs, it can actually get the lyrics for up to 3,000 songs and store them on your computer. It generates them in a different format every time you play, if you want to go that way. Really cool if you are into visuals. There's also an edit mode, which I will just gloss over because this in itself, again, is another, you can do it as another masterclass. I'm hiding something. No, the browser, here we go. Here I can grab, let's get something I know is on this computer and just drag it up into the editor and get rid of the browser. This is a cool way for you to be able to take a track directly from the software instead of having to bounce it out to a DAW. If you want to make a short edit or add intro, outro, it uses the beat grid of the song. So here I can take these, let's just take the 8 bars here, and I can then clone them, and it just, boom, automatically you can see added an extra 8 bars at the beginning. If you want to cut out some in the middle, oh, I don't like this breakdown. Let me zoom out. Let's take out actually everything from this position here to way down over. Does this scroll me? There we go. Let's take everything from here to here. So let's go. And I'm going to chop this entire segment of the song out. I don't like any of the middle part. I can just hit the delete button. Boop. Now my song is 4 minutes instead of 7 minutes. It's really cool because it, like I said, it works on the beat grid, so you don't have to do the fine measurements. You don't have to go in and like Ableton. I know I had to do the warp and the markers and stuff. Here I can take this, it saves any hot cues I've got on the song, and then when I save it out, it's automatically in the library. It doesn't store it with it, it just makes a new file and has the analysis there. So it's very easy and quick to do that. And like I said, I'm gonna turn myself off for a second. You're not going to be doing remixes and stuff in this, just more about, I need to make a shorter version, I need to make a longer version. You can take a bit from the middle and move it over with the palette. You can't move it to another song yet. That's something that we hope is coming in a future version to be able to do little mashups and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the edit tool. The revision that came out today, 6.5.2, added some additional export options. So you've got different encoding choices available now. Oh, here we go. Different encoding choices available now. So that's a great bonus that they've added. And the cool thing is you can use this for free as well. You just can't export or render the song, so you can actually save your projects, and then if you decide you want to go to the creative plan, then you can actually render them out. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not even going to touch on lighting because that's another monster. But yes, mobile sync, mobile devices, but the avalanche of information.
All right, so we're going to hit a couple questions now. I'm zooming back out so everybody can see both of us here. Hold on. Uno momente, senores and senoritas. There we go. All right, so we've got a couple questions here. Now is the time that if you want to ask a question, now is the time to ask it. I have two I'm going to start with. DJ730 asks, when will we have folder search?
Folder search. Well, I know that you are a virtual DJ user. That's why you're asking for folder search.
No. That was the question. That we have two of them coming there. It was nothing to do with anything. I'm not comparing.
No. I know the user. He's asking because he's a virtual DJ user, and that's something that is very virtual DJ. With Rekordbox, you bring all your music into Rekordbox, and if you want to search for something, just hit the search box. Just look for it.
Oh, I understand now. I'm sorry. I do understand what he meant by that question. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in my folder. That's why. Here we go. Yeah, so I just tell people, listen, if you've got it in your collection, I can't even type today. Apparently I have no mic. Oh, I'm bringing open my side panels. If you are able to search for it anywhere, you can search for it in your collection. Apparently I've got no Michael Jackson. Something's going on with, because I'm filtered.
See, all these extra buttons are awesome, but once in a while they throw you off by going, "Why isn't it there?" And it was you that just.
Well, it's throwing me off because I'm also I'm demonstrating stuff, and then
Right.
I'm not in performance mode.
Right.
So.
Right. No, that's good though.
Okay, so just to search Michael Jackson. So I know a lot of guys are saying, okay, well, I want to look in my Michael Jackson folder. Well, if you know you're looking for Michael Jackson, why would you click through your tree to get to Michael Jackson when if you just typed in Michael Jackson, you've got your Michael Jackson.
Right.
And if you want to narrow it down from there, well, let's live for Billy, or just B-I-L. Okay, well, now I've got a couple of different versions, and I can see where it's stored. So I'm going to counter by saying, what's wrong with the regular search? I know that a lot of people are asking for it, and it's something that they're working to develop, but currently any music you've imported to your collection is already available. So just take all that music,
Right.
dump it in, have it analyzed, ready to go, and then you can search for it the same way. Intelligent playlists,
Right.
folders, tags, all these things are your friend. So there are other tools that'll work around that for you.
Just to go back to the virtual DJ thing, I would have told him the same thing. Just type it in. You know, the power. We no longer have to shuffle through a box full of things. You know.
I know, and well, that's just it. Like we used to go through and have things organized. Even if you look at a lot of DJs' files, the way they organize the music sort of is telling of how their brain works in finding the music. So I get it that you might be just in that world of, well, I know if I can go into this folder and I can find that album and I can find that song. Open your mind to the search for your collection, and it actually is quite easy.
You can almost tell how old a DJ is by looking at their file system of where they put the songs.
The modern DJs, I just put everything in the downloads folder.
One. It's all in there. So yeah. All right. Next question is, and someone in the chat did answer it, but I want you to go ahead and answer it too. How does auto relocate work exactly? That was DJ Rez.
Yeah, we've always had relocate, and now we have auto relocate. So with relocate, if you had moved your files, and I know Windows users are going to see this more often than Mac users, because when you disconnect your drive and then you plug in another one and then plug the first one back in, it gets a different letter. So Rekordbox says, I don't know where your music is. Go into your drive manager, give that drive a different letter like M for music or X, put it at the end of the alphabet, always be in the same place. But if you have to go and relocate, I'm going to turn myself down here so I can get my buttons again. You have the ability to, in the advanced settings, auto relocate search folders. So you've got places that you can specify where it's going to look. Now, under most circumstances, I would just say do a regular search, regular relocation, because unless you're allowing iTunes to manage your music or you're moving everything around after you've imported it, which I don't recommend, manage it properly before you bring it into Rekordbox. But if you have had something disastrous occur where it has to go and find all of your files in different places, that's when you want to use the auto relocate search. So what it's going to try and do is match the file names and folders that you previously had. So you can specify, that's what I would target, is just go in and look for a much more narrow location. Oh, let's put it on the other window. Hold on here. Yep. So if you are looking for a specific folder, you can then go and dive in and say, well, it's on the D drive. It's under this particular folder. And then you do your auto relocate. Mine is, I don't want to do it because everything is in the cloud right now. And if I even go and bring that up, I'm going to enter a world of hurt because it says, oh, everything, I can't find it. It's all in the cloud. It's on the other computer. But the long and short is, don't use auto relocate if you can use a batch relocation, because everything is moved in the parent folder, because everything else below that in all the child structure would still be the same. So usually if you need to do a auto relocates because something disastrous has happened, in which case ask us for help. I'd rather help you wade through that as opposed to you trying to auto relocate and making a mess of things and making it worse.
Right.
So we're here to answer questions. Jay
good.
and I are in the forums. We will definitely help you out if you have any problems with stuff like that.
You heard it here first, guys. There's your first two go-tos. All right, so next one is Joel Lovelace asked about, I'm guessing he's pulling this from the virtual DJ side of things, a side list to where you can drag and drop, leave songs that you might want to play in a bit.
Yeah, so you've got the tag list is your sort of in a bit. That's like your temporary holding list. But I'll show you, so I gotta open this up. And this can actually be done on controllers much quicker than I'm doing it with the mouse. Yeah, you can drag them from here, and you can even set it so that when you add it from the tag list up into a player, that it clears it from the history.
There you go.
You can see these are actually taking a second to load because they are in the cloud and I haven't got them on this computer. So Dropbox is actually, the way I've got it set for selective sync is it's actually bringing them down from Dropbox when I drag them up into the player. But yeah, you can set these for temporary.
Take a quick second and talk about the Dropbox link to that and how that works and how it would be put to use, at least how you've put it to use and whatnot.
Yeah, so for me, I do everything off an external drive because my internal drive is not big enough to hold the collection. I've got like a 512 gig SSD in my laptop, and I've got more than that on external. So generally, I'm using my laptop for that, and I can always plug my laptop. Excuse me, I can plug the hard drive into another laptop and play. The desktop is more for me to be able to manage things, do this kind of presentation. It's with the cloud sync though, I don't have to have the music to be able to manage the collections. I can build these playlists and it's just going to update that on the cloud sync. So when I go back over to my laptop, the music that is there can actually be loaded up and played. But the way it works with the Dropbox, and I think I can bring it up. Okay, so if I have, we're going to try and find a song here that I can actually just bring into, oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to, there we are. Okay, so I've got this MP3 and I'm going to drop it onto a player. And it's going to do two things. It's going to ask me if I want to analyze it. So I got to bring that window over from the other screen. It's going to do my key, phrase, and vocal with 100, whatever. Let's just bring the range down a little bit. It'll analyze the song and it's going to add it to my collection. That's the beauty of any song you import gets added to your collection automatically. So there it is at the top. And now it's got the cloud icon because it started in Dropbox. The folder that this was in was the Dropbox root. If I'm on the wrong screen again, too many things going on. If I Dropbox, where are you? There we are. So this was a song that I brought in. If this was located somewhere else and it was not in the Dropbox scope, all you have to do is right-click on it and then say upload to cloud. So here. It's already on the cloud, so I can't upload it. So if you wanted to have some songs on there, depending on how you configure Dropbox, if it's selective sync, which I prefer because that way it just keeps it on the cloud and then brings it back down when I want it, or if you've chosen to move them out of the cloud sync because you just wanted to free up your space. So I know some people are using a free Dropbox plan, they've only got a limited amount of space. Maybe you're only putting 1 or 2 playlists in there. Just like I've got the 148 songs that are available right now on this machine because that's all I've put into the cloud. Whatever your preference is, there's a lot of options for you to be able to use cloud or not. But like I said, the library at the very least is able to synchronize. So you are taking the songs and playlists and managing them, and then we actually want to play the audio. That would be whenever you have that music available to that computer.
Okay.
So maybe I answered the question or maybe I made it more confusing.
No, that's good because that again, as we talked about earlier, the streaming stuff. This is another tool that is part of Rekordbox, and if you embrace it and give it a try, you might find it extremely useful to have that ability to have tracks in the cloud like that, and freeing up space to have them only when you need them, etc., stuff like that. So that's a very powerful tool if you take the time and work with that. And how much do you get? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably about 2 terabytes or a terabyte for $10.
Yeah. So what I actually have is I've got the 2 terabyte plan, and if I go to my Dropbox here, this music folder, which is not the one that's synchronized, but this is actually a copy of my entire hard drive. So if I go into any of these folders, this is stuff that was cloned from the hard drive I use. I keep a copy on Dropbox just in case because it's just like, why not have another backup of stuff? Right. So it's all available here, but then the stuff that Rekordbox will synchronize is actually in these Rekordbox folders. So the contents folder here will be things that it has put into the cloud from another computer. So any of these songs, you can see the green check mark is because it's been downloaded and loaded onto this computer. Right. But the other one with the gray check mark means it has not. So I can see that it's doing that whole selective sync thing.
Right.
So it just brings in the ones you want. So it's not taking up space on this drive, but it is space in your account. So yeah, their main $10 a month plan or something is like 2 terabytes.
Yeah, very cool. All right, another question from Paul Cole. He asks, how do you change a track from play, that's marked play in the green, to not played or unplay, or whatever words you want to use for that?
Yeah, the easiest way to do that is to actually clear them all. And I'm going to move myself again because I'm sitting in front of the gear. So you've got the option in the preferences. Some of those things I go and change all the time, so I can't remember exactly where it is. Reset. So reset color when exiting Rekordbox, or reset to clear them all right now. So
can you do an individual one, just one song you want to clear it?
No, it's going to clear. It's going to clear them all. Now, it didn't actually clear those ones. Oh, because it's loaded to a deck. So hold on a second. Let me pull another one up, and it will change. Okay, so Alyssa Green has now gone back to white because it's not on a deck. It goes to a dark green if it's been played, and then light green if it's currently on a deck. Unfortunately, you can't uncheck one song. It doesn't work to do that. So it's either remove it from collection or remove from history. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't unmark it.
Okay. Brandon White 2000 Watson, it's all one giant word there. Ask, what's your favorite Looney Tunes character? Feel free not to answer. This is my audience, so I
would Marvin the Martian.
Oh, so awesome.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Plus, you can't argue with that man's tennis shoes. He has the coolest shoes.
And his little Roman helmet and the blaster, and he's got, absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta love that. So we still got a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you've joined us late, we have Pulse from Pioneer DJ here. We're talking all about Rekordbox tonight, all your questions about Rekordbox or anything. And if you have a Pioneer question, I'm sure he could answer it too.
Or just lie. I'll make something up.
Or just lie, yeah. If I ask you, because I never want to ask Jay because I want to respect him, if I ask you what's new coming from Pioneer, will you ignore me too? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. No, we are excited because we know that you guys, everybody, all the brands kind of have been working on stuff, and last year just put a halt on everything. So we're excited because I know you guys don't quit innovating, software, hardware, whatever. And this year, I think it's kind of starting to get back to normal for you guys, I'm guessing.
Well, before the pandemic, NAMM last year was the last trade show we were at, and we were showing off the DJM V10 as one of our newest things. The CDJ 3000 was still pretty new. It was kind of like a low show because it was like, well, what's new? And it wasn't a lot. But then through the year, we had several releases. We had the DDJ Flex 6 came out. We had the S11, the S7. I mean, we're talking some serious products. But the other thing that happened is because all these DJs were at home, there was a lot of sales for the DDJ 400, the DDJ 1000. Sales were really good last year to the point where we're actually low on stock now because of the pendulum swinging back the other direction. Of production numbers were lowered because of factory issues and a factory fire. That's not a pleasant one to talk about, but that affected a lot of industries. Silicon shortages, shipping issues. So it's coming back the other way. But you sort of look at what's on our roadmap, and we still have things coming. Obviously, we're still working on products, and we've had to sort of change gears because over the last year, with everyone going to streaming, we now have to think about, there's actually a lot of DJs who are wanting to continue doing this, even though the clubs are now reopening or their venues are now coming back online or they're now doing weddings, but the bride and groom say, hey, we still got family who can't travel. We want to stream this. So we're trying to take that into consideration as well with all of our planning down the road. So it's like you don't stop. Even though there's a pandemic, DJs are still doing what they're doing, whether it was from home or in very small numbers.
Right. Drew B asked the question, what Canadian Civics Award did Pulse win?
Jay would tell you I'm a New York Times best-selling author. Civic Award. There is actually a story. I was awarded Canada's favorite crossing guard.
Okay.
I volunteer. I run the kids safety patrol program down at my kids' school,
Right.
and I've been doing that for 7 years now. And 2 years ago, I was awarded Canada's favorite crossing guard.
That is awesome. Dude, that needs to be like on a card, you know. Hi.
I've got a big glass trophy.
That's so
in
cool.
the front.
I have a question from Jay, and you can feel free, because it's Jay, not to answer if you want. I'm going to read it. What about baby in a box? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Babe in a box?
Yeah.
Yeah, Babe in a Box is a joke that we've had for years. It's like, what is the upcoming product? It's going to be a Babe in a Box, and it will feature a self-unpacking mode, and it will every DJ will want it.
I love that. That is now, from now on, that's what I'm going to tell people. Like, hey, I heard something's coming out. Hey, you know, Babe in a Box.
It's the what when. It's like, oh yeah, no, we're always working on something. We just can't tell you.
Yeah.
And you know, the worst part is if somebody came up to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about buying a new controller. What can you tell me? I'm like, I would have to lie to their face and say, yeah, even though there's one coming out tomorrow, I can't tell you.
Right.
I'd say, no, this is a great one. What do you need? That's what you should go and get.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It really sucks sometimes. But
I always tell
Jay and I will always say the same thing. You buy the controller you need at the time you need it. Buy the
Right.
product you need at the time you need it.
Right. I usually tell people, I said, if you can wait till the next expo,
Trade show.
Yeah, trade show, because that's going to be usually the wave of them is going to be by then, and that will give you a safe bet if you're looking for something new. It's going to come in that. But if you can't wait, holy crap, there's a whole bunch out there.
It's like if you're looking for a new iPhone, you just wait until September.
Yeah, for real, right? And I
Exactly.
I just want to make, if those of you who know and follow my show, the Denon sign is off tonight on purpose, because we're dealing with Pioneer, and I may be switching to Pioneer too. So I definitely.
Hey, we hold no grudges. We don't disrespect. It's the competition that helps build better products. So absolutely, you know, if you were to look back in the forums from 20 years ago when I was, you know, a little green, I might have gone and talked a little trash sometimes, but I think, you know, it's the relationships that I've made with a lot of the other companies and the people who work there that have, you know, really shown that it's a good, tight-knit community. So anyone who's watching who goes and says, I don't like that DJ because they're using whatever product, drop it. It doesn't matter if they're playing on a harmonica and they're rocking a crowd. You got to respect it because it doesn't matter what the DJ is doing as long as they're making people dance. Yeah,
that's our job. I mean, come on now. Yeah. I was gonna ask one thing. Somebody, Drew B. Serious question. Ask Pulse, what things to turn off in Rekordbox to get the most out of a low power computer?
One. Yes. Okay. So
that's a good one. Yeah.
Rekordbox comes with a whole bunch of stuff that's already enabled, and for some reason, it's one of my gripes. It's a default that you've got lighting is turned on, lyric is turned on, video is turned on, and DVS is turned on. And there's a checkbox at the top of each one of these things, so that if you are using an older computer, you're going to suffer because they're all sitting and waiting in the wings to be running, and they can be system intensive. So turn those things off, and you'll be fine. I know that you know, it can be DJs go, oh, it's you know, software is running so much memory, it's using up all these resources on my computer. And hold on one second, let's see if I can bring it over from the other screen. Oh, it's taking up the whole screen now. Oops. It can't. What have I done? It can be intensive.
Oh, I'm seeing the resources now. Got it. Yeah.
All the way on the wrong side. You know, the God, I'm wrong tab. Yeah, 2 gigs of RAM is being taken up. Currently 1% of my CPU, but I'm also running the Ferrari of CPUs. But it can take resources, but it's also resources that are ready to go to moment's notice. So if you are to hit play and start scratching, it's got to be able to handle that. It's buffered up this information. So the entire song is loaded to memory so that it's able to jump around and be able to perform right away. And if you are not needing to have those other things enabled, if you don't need lighting, if you don't need DVS, go and turn them off. It is one of those things that, like I said, they're enabled by default. We've asked the engineers to make a change for future versions, but right now, if you need to squeeze a little bit more out of that Lemon computer or that old doorstop you're still rocking parties with, just go in and optimize it by disabling those things, lowering your draw rates, increasing the audio buffer, and just turn off any background applications you don't need.
Excellent. That was a good question, by the way. Yeah. Okay, so we're about to top of the hour. Someone just came on and said, I'm late to the party. Will this be available later? Yes. All our videos here on Disc Jockey News remain on demand. When you can watch them as soon as the show's over. You can go back and watch if you showed up late. I want to touch on some things on the way out. We talked about that you can try Rekordbox for free. We talked
Rekordbox.com, download for free.
We talked about the app that is available for both Android and Apple, which I have it on here, and I was playing with it the other night. So you can go and get that. These are things that you can try out. You said that they could come to you or Jay with some questions. But
Absolutely.
But I know for a fact that some of the forums have some great information. Where would their next step be to go to get information, questions like that, maybe in a forum for both Pioneer and Rekordbox?
Forums.pioneerdj.com. So you can go there, or just even pioneerdj.com, and you can find the community sections. And it's Jay's on Facebook. I got off there a couple of years ago, but he does get bombarded with questions, and he'll typically direct people to the forum. And if it's something technical, we'll say file a ticket, and we can get more direct one-on-one interactions with customers to be able to share the information and help them out.
Awesome. Where, if they want to follow you, I know you said you got off Facebook, where are you? Can they find you? Because can they go somewhere and see the Crossing Guard award or something?
No, they have to do their own digging for that one. The best place to find me is on the forums. I'm on Twitter, but don't post much. I'm more of a lurker. It's a first-time caller, long-time listener kind of thing.
Right. Totally get it. But I definitely want to thank you for coming out. Is there a chance we can get you back maybe in the fall to dive deeper?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Because,
answering questions and getting into some of the nitty-gritty things that people want to know about Rekordbox. I'd be happy to do that and show off whatever's new when we roll out more updates over the year.
Yeah, Jay says give them Lars's number.
That's right. Yeah.
I still want to get a picture with Lars just because I'm that old and I'm a nerd, But I never want to ask.
A fan of the real world?
Yeah, because the first one or the second one, I don't remember which one I actually tried out for, and I still have a little thing,
nice, good for you.
A little card where they rejected me and said thank you, we have all our people. But I never want to bother them because I don't want to seem like that nerd. I just be like, yeah, hey, I'm a DJ like.
No, you have to. Next time you see him, he's gonna be at Expo if you're there.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so again, thank you guys for hanging out. Just to let you know, for future information, next week there will not be a show. I'm only doing 2 shows in July because this is going to be a software summer. We're going to do a show on virtual, and we're going to do a show on Serato. We're going to cover software this summer, and we're also going to take some time off to enjoy ourselves and go out and do stuff, and I encourage you to do the same. It's probably your busy season, some of you. I want to encourage you also to take a breath, enjoy a sunset. We just came out of a whole lockdown. This is the time to appreciate what you have, and I want to encourage you on that. But we'll be back with those shows this summer. I know John has a virtual expo coming up next Monday night. I think it's next Monday. It's based around wedding stuff, so you want to tune into that. Many nights, you can hang out with Jay over on the DJNTV Insiders Chill Room. Can someone in the chat please dump that in there? I always forget what it is. It's djntv.com/chill, and it's like a Zoom room where you can go in and hang out. It's not about people DJing. You can just sit there and talk, and I've been in there on nights when it's been everything from DJ stuff to what was your first car. So it's a real nice place to just kind of chill out and be able to talk about nerdy things that the people in your life that aren't DJs are going to be like, would you please stop talking about that? You can go in there and you can talk about it with people just like you. So definitely want to encourage everybody on that. Paul, again, thank you so much for being here. It took a little work to get us here, but this was awesome, and I really cannot wait for the next time when we dive in deeper because I'm loving this information that you're bringing. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. More importantly, take care of each other, all right? God bless.